While touring a small central Florida town, I came across a statue that sent me down a rabbit hole of murder, lies, and injustice. Today, we talk about Groveland, Florida. This is in Lake County, and we rewind the clock back to 1949. This is where our story begins. Now, Florida was a much different place back in 1949, especially for people of color. The barbaric practice of segregation was still in place, and any accusation against a black person was treated as fact. Enter Norma and Willie Paget. They go to the police claiming Norma was assaulted by 4 black men. Now, it's widely thought today that Willie Paget was the one guilty of assault, but they accused the 4 black men to deflect the blame from Willie. They accused Charles Greenlee, Samuel Shepard, Walter Irvin, and one more man, Ernest Thomas. Ernest Thomas is not pictured here because he did not wait around for justice. Claiming innocence, he fled and made it as far as Madison before he was shot and killed 40 times by a mob of at least 400 white people. Our next character in the story is Sheriff Willie McCall. McCall takes it upon himself to transfer Shepard and Irwin to a separate jail when he takes them outside of his car and shoots them both, killing Shepard. Irwin survives only by playing dead. At this point, the only 2 accused remaining alive are Irwin and Greenlee, who both profess their innocence, as there was no evidence against them, but yet they were sentenced to death. If you recognize the lawyer on the left, by the way, that was Thurgood Marshall, who went on to become a United States Supreme Court Justice. Now, back to that statue. It's a statue of a newspaper editor named Mabel Norris Reese. Now, Reese knew that there was something fishy going on with this story and wrote several articles about the injustice in the Mount Dora Daily Topic, her newspaper. Alas, she was run out of town after allies of Sheriff McCall poisoned her dog and bombed her house. Now, Irwin and Greenfield were eventually given parole in the 1960s, but it wasn't until 2016 when the state of Florida exonerated them of any crime. Norma Paget, still alive, has had her story changed many times over the years, but she has never faced any penalty for lying. Today in Tavares, Florida, the old Lake County Courthouse is a landmark of downtown, but it has a new addition, a plaque honoring the Groveland 4. I myself can't help but wonder how many more people were falsely accused, but never had their stories heard. Thanks for watching Abandoned Florida.
The Groveland 4, Walter Irvin, Samuel Shepard, Charles Greenlee, and Ernest Thomas, were accused of raping a white woman in 1949.
That my father is a caring and loving, compassionate person that did not rape anybody.
Lake County authorities have since concluded the men were the victims of fabricated evidence and false testimony. Just 2 months ago, investigators discovered a pair of pants worn by one of the men did not contain a semen stain, as prosecutors originally suggested to a jury.
I wanted there to be a legal reason to get here.
State Attorney William Gladson used that new evidence to get the charges thrown out.
I hope that this is a start. Because there's a lot of people that didn't get this opportunity.
Aaron Newsom's uncle, Ernest Thomas, was killed by a posse before deputies could even arrest him. Another one of the Groveland 4, Samuel Shepard, was shot and killed by a former Lake County sheriff who claimed the suspect tried to escape. Shepard's cousin was Beverly Robinson.
We thank you for finishing, as Carol has said, a job that some did not have the courage to finish.
The Groveland 4 were originally represented by attorney Thurgood Marshall, who would later become the first black U.S. Supreme Court justice.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10, and it reads, For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakwadash, Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barazal from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, what you just saw was the backstory on the Groveland 4, which I was inspired to go get some dig into because of an article that popped up in one of my news outlets regarding the woman that falsely accused the Groveland 4. And here again, as I say with this, this yet being another installment of our camps for thy violence against thy brother Jacob series. It's the same playbook with Esau Edom. At the root of every demise of Jake, particularly the so-called Negroes in America, it's always the common denominator is always the so-called white woman and her tears, and she isn't white, she's red, like the Bible says, according to Genesis 25 and 25. The jealousy and anger of the so-called white man, and both of those individuals also have high-level positions in the government, going all the way down to the police. So Jake just really does not have a chance when they were falsely accused of anything, especially in the Jim Crow era. You were no longer slaves, so they didn't want you around. They feared you. Always an insurrection of some sort. So every opportunity that they got to blame something on you, Jake really has caught hell in the United States. So-called Latinos and Native Americans as well, but the so-called Negroes, I mean, man, just anything. They say you're supposed to have a jury of your peers. No, these are all white juries. Doing the convicting. It was a sure conviction no matter what. And a lot of the stuff was under false accusation, without any evidence. All right, as you saw it in those video clips. But that woman has since passed away, and I'm going to get to that article here shortly. All right, but here again, this scripture of Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And we're in that time right now. Esau knows his end is coming rapidly, and of course he's not going to go out without a fight. He knows it's coming, and that's why the scriptures say, he's going to come down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time, roughly paraphrasing Revelations 12 and 12. All right, they know this kingdom is coming to an end. All right, but it says, and that shame, what's bringing that shame? The mouths of the prophets, exposing their lies and deceits, treachery, murder, so on and so forth. All of their wickedness is being discovered right now. It is via the word, the mouth of the prophets, via Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's making Esau bare. He can't hide anything. Everything he comes up with, we're there to expose it. All of his old history on what he's done. And this is just one of many, this Groveland 4 stuff, that's yet to be uncovered, but it's all going to be revealed here soon. And, it's, like I said, it's the same playbook, but it says, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you have an expiration date as a nation, according to Obadiah 1 and 18. It's the same chapter, Let me just go ahead and go down and get that. Verse 18. And it reads, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, that's the southern kingdom of Israel, Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, and the house of Joseph a flame, that's the northern kingdom of Israel, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have spoken it. Okay? You have an expiration date. Just like you have tried throughout the centuries to get rid of us, you will be gotten rid of permanently. Okay? Never to return again. All right? But in this case, it is Groveland 4. This is eerily similar to what that Carolyn Dunham Bryant did when she falsely accused Emmett Till. She also passed away without any judgment or repercussions. But that's any judgment or repercussions from their judicial system. Her judgment is coming, and I'm going to get to that. All right. But this hatred has been going on forever. It has been perpetual. This is the book of Amos 1 and 11. And it reads, For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, that's that sin upon sin, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. That punishment is going to be inevitable. He's not going to turn away. Okay? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, any type of killing instrument. And their history is rampant, regarding the murder of Jake, still to this day, with the so-called police. You just had a situation with the Sonia Massey and her 4-year-old cousin. Most recently in the news. All right. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, never had any mercy. All right. And I know it's references to he here, but it's also that so-called white woman too. I did a video before. They were like 43% of the slave owners. Okay. So yes, they have blood on their hands as well too. Our blood. All right. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. All right? Forever. Still to this day, there will be that hatred for us that Esau has had for the 12 tribes of Israel, going all the way back to Genesis 27. All right? And that hatred extends from, like I said, from the individual all the way to the highest places in the courts, to the judicial system, unfair juries, unbalanced juries, to ensure that Jake was in a perpetual state of slavery or dead, one of the two, okay, if not both. All right. So yeah, you do have a perpetual hatred for us. So everybody ain't bad. No. Psalms 53 says there is not one good. There's not one good Edomite. All right? He's called the wicked in that chapter, and that's who he is. The wicked, according to Malachi 1 and 4. All right? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35. Verses 5 and 6. Verse 5, and it reads, Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, during slavery, and the time that their iniquity had an end, out of slavery, free. Okay, you kept it up. You still have your foot on our necks. At the time their iniquity had an end. Verse 6, Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh our power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Said thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right? You're going to get the same thing that you dish out, except with the Israelites, the New Jerusalem, it's going to be in righteousness. Okay? What you did unto people, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's people, his inheritance, the nation of Israel, it's going to be done to you. All right? Back that up. Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 25. And it reads, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons." So yeah, you're going to get that back. All of it. Every single bit of it. All right? For what you did to the children of Israel. All right? Let me get to that article. All right. And I'm not going to read all of it. I'll leave a copy of it in the description box. But just going over the part because you got the backstory in the videos. And it says a white woman who wrongfully accused Groveland 4 of rape in Jim Crow era South dies at 92. Okay? So she's gone now too. Let's get down to the article. A white woman who falsely accused 4 black men of rape in Jim Crow era South in 1949 has died at the age of 92. Norma Paget Upshaw claimed the 4 men, Ernest Thomas, Samuel Shepard, Charles Greenlee, and Walter Irvin, sexually assaulted her in Groveland, Florida, about 30 miles west of Orlando when she was 17. The group, who came to be called the Groveland Four, became the faces of the case considered one of the greatest miscarriages of justice in Jim Crow era Florida, and that's even today. You know, you got these, it was a story. Now you have these cops on camera, you know, and Jake still loses. All right. It goes on to say, Paget Upshaw died of natural causes on July 12th in Taylor County, Georgia, according to records filed at the probate court. The Washington Post was first to report her death. There were doubts about Paget Upshaw's testimony from the onset, but in the era of Jim Crow, a jury convicted the men without evidence of a crime. They always did that. Circuit Court Judge Heidi Davis in Lake County, Florida, granted the state's motion in November 21st to posthumously dismiss the indictments against Thomas and Shepard and vacated the convictions of Greenlee and Irvin. You know, they already served that time. Yet people did. What good is it to, dismiss stuff after they've already served it? They can't get that time back. They can't get their lives back. That's just how a fucking wicked Esau is. You know, they had the evidence then. And one of the videos says, they still had the pants of the guy. And there was no semen on it. And they knew that. Yet they still convicted him. That's that perpetual hatred, though. All right? Let's see. Okay. What's going on now? In 2019, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis issued full posthumous pardons to the Groveland Four. Wow, how noble of that guy. All right. For him to hate the woke crowd so much. And that's code for talking about primarily the Israelites. They don't like that term. Most of them can't even define it. As the Lord told us, it's high time for us to wake up out of sleep because our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Roughly paraphrasing Romans 13:11. Okay. But they want you to remain asleep because they want to have that perpetual rule and dominance over Jake. And it's just not going to happen. All right? It's just not going to happen. We're going to come up out of this. All right? And he went on, he's quoted as saying, for 70 years, these 4 men have had their history wrongly written for crimes they did not commit. And that's just one set of Jake men, so-called black men. The whole history of the United Snakes of America is like this. Babylon the Great, aka America. Okay? It goes on. As I have said before, while that is a long time to wait, it's never too late to do the right thing, DeSantis said in a statement at that time. All right, and the rest of this article goes on to talk about the things that were spoken of in that video. But she died without, ever having to face any backlash for what she did, that false accusation. Okay, she never had to face any judgment for that, but she will. All right, she will. And let me get that in a second. There's, like I said, I'll put a link to this article in the description box. This is the book of Second Esdras in the Apocrypha. Esdras in the Apocrypha is the same as Ezra in the Old Testament. Okay. You can get the lineage of, you can see that lineage in First Esdras 8 and Ezra chapter 7. He's a descendant of Aaron, the Levite, and Moses' brother. All right. Second Esdras chapter 14, go straight to the point, verse 35, and it reads, "For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly be declared." So yeah. You left this life not being judged for what you did. Okay. But that next one that you come back in, which is shortly, we're almost here. Everyone has to go before the judgment seat. All right. Everyone. All nations. Going back again, it says, "For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest." That's the saints, the Israelites, the elect. Okay? That word manifest being made known. "And the works of the ungodly shall be declared." And who's the ungodly? Primarily Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Because you got to remember in Second Ezra chapter 3, I want to say around verses 13 through 16, as the scriptures say in Malachi chapter 1, as well as Romans 9 and 13. The Lord said, "Jacob I have loved, Esau have I hated." Okay, and that's Second Ezra chapter 3, or is it Sirach? Let me just double check. Maybe Sirach. Bear with me. 3:13. No, maybe Ezra, Second Ezra 3:13. Yes, 16. Okay. Go straight to the point. And verse 16. "And unto them thou gavest Isaac," talking about Abraham, "and unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, but put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude." And that put by, it means he rejected Esau. Okay. That's backed up in Hebrews 12, 16 and 17. Esau was rejected. There's no repentance in him. That's the way he was made, created the wicked. As the scriptures say, "Consider the work of Yahweh, who can make crooked which he has made, who can make straight what he has made crooked." I believe that's Ecclesiastes 7. Is it 13? Khan. Yeah. "Consider the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for who can make straight which he hath made crooked?" There's nobody. Okay? What he said it is what it is. And that's what it's going to be. Remember Malachi 3 and 6 says, I am the Lord, I change not. Yet ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay? So he created you to be the wicked. That's what you are, the wicked. Nobody can change that, no matter how nice they appear to be. But you have to pay for these atrocities that you did to Jake. You know, you furthered the affliction. Let me get that. Zechariah 1. I believe that's 15. Yeah. And it reads, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. And why are you at ease? Because Jake has been at a low point for the longest. You know, and you know, even though we are Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's chosen, you know, Psalms 10, you know, says that the Most High is not at all in your thoughts. So you contemn him, you despise him, as if he doesn't exist, because you believe you are the Most High according to the Scriptures. Okay. Continuing on, it says, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Yeah, you went overboard, Esau, and you continue to do so. You know, and we know it's about to get worse because 2/3 of our people have to be cut off and die. All right, according to Zechariah 13, 8 and 9. Okay, we know that judgment begins at the house of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, according to 1 Peter 4, 17 and 18. All right, judgment's going to begin with us. You know, that wicked 2/3, but you're going to have yours for sure. Best believe that. All right, you have to pay for what you did and all of these atrocities against Jake, and this is just one of them. Falsely accusing, ruining those men's lives. You know, innocent. All you have done is shed innocent blood. All right, that's all you. Let me get that innocent blood. No, it's in one of these. I think that's in Ezekiel 2. No, Jeremiah. I mean, Salakia, Joel. Okay. Joel 3 and 19. All right. Egypt shall be a desolation. Okay. Egypt meaning a house of bondage, which is currently Babylon the Great, aka America. You know, we know that according to Jeremiah 50 and 33, where Judah and Israel are oppressed together. Okay. Oppressed together like we were in ancient Egypt. Okay. It says Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom. Okay. Associating Edom with Egypt. Edom, the so-called white man. All right. And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Okay. What is your land? Babylon the Great. You know, this place is also called spiritual Sodom and Egypt. It's talking about America. And you know, you saw that the whole sodomy part at the opening of the recent Olympics. You know what those dudes are doing. You know, either chasing doo-doo or having their doo-doo chased. You know, one of the two. Either way, it's sodomy. All right, because you know, if you're guilty of it, the blood is upon both of your heads, no matter who's doing the sticking or who's doing the receiving. All right. Verse 20. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. That's when we receive that immortality. Okay. Those new bodies, the new law within us, doing things according to righteousness, because it's going to always be in us. Verse 21, for I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai dwelleth in Zion. Okay, and how is he going to cleanse the blood that he has not cleansed yet? This is the book of Numbers 35, 33. And it reads, So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. Okay, our blood has defiled this land. Okay, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Yes, Esau, Edom, the entire nation, men and women. Just as you have shed our blood, your blood will be shed in righteousness. Okay? The same way. That is the true reparations. Okay? And Jake is starting to see that. All right? That is the true reparations. All right, I'm going to close out with this one. This is the book of Revelation. Chapter 13. Begin in verse 9. And it reads, If any man have an ear, let him hear. Okay? If any man's got understanding, let him have the understanding. Verse 10. Okay? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay? Who's had us in captivity? All right? Going all the way back to the Romans and the Greeks. Okay? Even before that, Amalek was the first to attack us as we left. We're leaving Egypt. Okay? The rest of Edom gave us hell, out in the wilderness. Okay? And then when the Babylonians, the Medes and the Persians, you had your hand in that stuff, and the Assyrian captivity as well. Get ready to go into the Assyrian captivity. Yeah. So you have been a thorn in Jake's side since the beginning. All the way back to what you said in Genesis 27:41. The days of my father of Isaac are at hand. You know, when he passes away, roughly paraphrasing, you're going to slay Jacob. You kill Jacob, there's no 12 tribes of Israel. All right? So no, you have to pay. You will pay. All right? Same book, Revelations 18:5-6 says, now, you're going to get receive double of what you did to us. Okay? Again, you had us in captivity for the longest, and you killed us with the sword was your blessing. Once again, back in Genesis 27, it was your blessing. All right? And you're going to meet that same fate, just as the scripture says here. Okay? And it says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites, according to Psalms 50:5, as well as Psalms 148, verse 13 and 14. All right, so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be likened to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah. We got next, okay? We got next, according to Ecclesiasticus 10:8. Yep. One kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right. Shalom.